explanation run. Hip-hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I said the end, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the explanation run. Hip-hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I don't fully straight apply. Or when I'm stand up for the stone, I live my life. Beneath the rich when east and they stick when I make it thighs. But the schoolies never bet for me, my dough is still for thighs. I'm the horn, niggas know they cute too, I keep out the bone. But let's get it, you know my me, you miss be up the shown. And when I see a nigga smile, you will stay up front. And if they got me, no, then you know I did the con. You up the icon, I see the fact. Missing I'm easy, but I hate I wake, so what I pack. I keep a searing in the rain, then I smoke as trash. And if I get, I'll keep a far. No planet, yeah. Taking trash to the sky from my leasing to living. All the flu on the bling that resenting you reeling. Dax kicking out of love, I might never be willing. But you'll never know what you I can never forget. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the explanation run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I 7 in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the explanation run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, you know by now it's on the line of people, but you never know this name, it's Kanana sequel. Speaking fresh, taking down, so decide the needle. Put down, stay the time to line like you want the needles. And if you hate when I like the brown, it's like your cam in the ground till they come now. But like I'm so fresh up and through the moose confused. And now I know what's up and noon and that was all for you. Say you never lose, stakes is native Parikana. I was go do, he's not a Hakabego, Drake your face. But I was thinking to his soul when y'all was by the Keva. And now I rain, man, I ain't like the May whatever. I say complain, plain mind, you gay, ain't no restriction. This nap so hard, go within and never missing. Convinced that you need love me now, but store and never tripping. It's the amazing saw, boy, yo, come and get tripping. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the explanation run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I say the name, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the explanation run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream.
Yep, I'm back in the building once again. This is GPTV1 live stream, Thursday edition, which is the last edition of the week. I go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I got a lot of shit I'm going to unpack in this episode. I got a new track playing in the background. It's kind of funky right there. I wanted to get something that was a little bit more edgier. I've been chill and laid back mode on the last past live stream. You can follow me on X. And I am on Thread. You can go over there and follow me. I post a lot of things over there. Working to build a social media community. So you can go over there and check that out. I got some new designs coming to the GP store very soon. I'm just waiting right now for it to load up. I guarantee you will enjoy the new merch. So when it comes out, you can go over there and check that out. If you're in the building, you're stepping in the building, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and click that like button. It helps spread the word about this live stream. You know, this stuff is unfiltered. I got a lot of stuff I'm going to unpack in this live stream. One of the things I'm going to cover is the incident that happened up there in Chicago at this rapper's event. I mean, shit just got crazy up there, where 4 people was unalived, 18 was injured. We're going to look into that story. And another thing that's been coming across my storyline is the biker gang Crackdown. We're going to look into that story. And some stuff that happened off in LA where these Iranians got busted for human smuggling. Like I say, I'll be looking at these other communities and see what they got popping. But that's what the GPTV1 do. We cover some of the hottest stories, some of the top headlines. But before we get into all that, I want y'all to check out this public announcement. Welcome to the GP Inner Circle. What up, though, GP fam? I'm excited to announce that the GP membership is now officially active. This is your chance to step up and show your support in a way that truly matters. By joining the inner circle, you will unlock exclusive perks tailored just for the most dedicated supporters, because you deserve nothing less. But that's not all. The Super Chat feature is now live, giving you an even greater opportunity to engage with me and the community in real time. Your support fuels my passion and creativity, inspiring me to deliver the kind of fire content that only the GP fam deserves. So why wait? Join the GP membership today and be a part of something special. Let's elevate this community together, because when you thrive, we all thrive. Welcome to the inner circle. Your journey starts now. Much love. Yep, just like I said in the ad, much love. So you want to check out the GP membership. I got some good perks going on over there. Updated everything. So I got some special things packed over there just for you, just for the dedicated followers. And like I said, this story up there in Chicago, it was incredible when I saw that story. And basically this happens around this rapper, a female rapper from Chicago. This happened during her album release party. I want to look that up, and actually before I go to the video, I want to look at the news article on there. So Chicago, it was like a mass shooting. And that thing, stuff like that been happening at a lot of events where it'd be a mass crowd and then people just start dumping on the crowd. And if somebody died, that is easily considered capital murder. But they said 4 people were killed and at least 14 report says 18. Outside the Artist Restaurant and Lounge in Chicago's River North neighborhood on Wednesday night. Chicago police said around 11 p.m. a dark vehicle drove past the building in the 300 block of West Chicago Avenue, where 3 people from inside fired shots into a crowd of people standing on the sidewalk. What's this rapper's name? Rapper Mello. The crowd was said to be leaving Artist Lounge following the album release party for rapper Mello. Let me search and see who that is. So it's this female rapper. I see pictures of her. I wonder if she got some type of music video or something. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not putting this on this rapper say she was the cause of all of this. It's really bad that it happened at her event and stuff like that, you know, be hanging over your head. That's not cool. So I'm not here to blame her for the actual stuff that happened over there. Usually stuff like this have gang connotation to it, but gang violence is happening everywhere. These mass shootings be happening in different places for sure. It's a sad situation. So we know 4 people were unalive, and that report said 14, but another report says 18. I'm trying to look up this young lady's music video. I'm going to check that out. I'm looking it up now. This rapper Mello. Let's see if she got a little music video on here. Like I said, I'm not blaming this rapper for this stuff that happened over there. And then sometimes people can just be mad because you're having a good time over there and they wasn't invited. Stuff like that can happen. But I'm not speculating. Right now, I'm looking up to see if she got any music video. I want to check out a little bit of her music. Mello Bucks. Let's check that out. You know, news reports is going to come up first when it comes to this young lady right here. The Mello Bucks Out the Roof. I guess she released this recently. I'm just gonna share a little clip of this. I don't want to get hit with copyright strikes and all of that. Definitely don't want to get hit with that. But again, I'm not putting this on this rapper. So I'm gonna, is this a music video? Or it look like just a song was just uploaded on there. So not exactly a music video. It's her music, but not an actual video. Okay. There go another one of her songs, and apparently this was released a year ago. So I'm gonna share my screen. Check out her talent. Let me click out of some of this. Got too many things open. So let me click out of there. Let me check out the music video. I'm gonna share my screen and see what her music is like. This song, this was released a year ago. But this is Mello Bucks. This is the young lady that had the music, the album release party. I'm only gonna play a little bit.
Everybody get the fuck up. You got your bottles? Put the bitches in the air. I say, I'm a gangster off liquor. I'ma show away my pipe round the neck, put my neck up on the floor. Play the right song in this bitch, them yelling out. Let's go,
All right. I just playing a little bit of that. Sound a little bit of that drill music. And like she says, ratchet type stuff. So yeah, that was just a little bit of her music. But I'm going to play some of these news reports, and the mayor actually spoke about this. Let me refresh my screen so I can get my mic back right. Hold on a second, fam. Let me reload this. Back, fam. I had to reload this page, get my mic back right. But oh man, here we go with this. Yeah, but I want to share my screen and look at some of these news reports. Let me share my screen, and then we're gonna listen in to what the mayor was saying. All right, let me share this right here. Hold on, it sounds like I'm having some. Let me pause that. Sound like I've got some glitch. Let me refresh this page once again, fam. Hold on. They keep putting the pictures up. And I'm getting a lot of glitches going on here. Sometimes this happens with these softwares. Y'all gotta excuse this, fam. Just stick with me. Get a picture loaded up there. There we go. It just had something up there, just nothing. But yeah, we're gonna go to one of the news reports on this story right here. It's real tragic. Let me share my screen. All right. Let's check out this news report on this incident. Let me spread my screen out.
Do all your SEO in one tab. Meet SEMrush, a tool to find.
Well, Valentine, Chicago fire crews were here earlier this morning, still cleaning up the scene hours after this all unfolded after 11 o'clock last night. We know that 18 shots At least 4 were killed.
We need more ambulance out here. We don't have nearly enough.
How many more ambulances
Great.
Shows the chaos as crews rush to the wounded. This happened around 11 near Restaurant and Lounge here on Chicago and Franklin. A violence interrupted the scenes. The victims were shot as they left an event hosted by a local rapper. Now investigators see a dark sedan pulled up when at least one person inside pulled out a gun and started shooting into a crowd of people outside the Restaurant and Lounge. That's it. The suspects drove off.
Mass shooting is popping off in a lot of places.
First responders rushed to the scene and took the victims to multiple hospitals. People who live in the area say they heard several gunshots.
I spoke to a person recently that worked at a hospital, and that person told me that it'll be overwhelmed with this type of stuff. And in some cases, you have a few people that come back and forth in there from different gunshot wounds. You got the same person that come in there 3 times and been shot 3 different times. Let's go.
So, hasn't been that bad in a while.
Now, police are still investigating, but our source tells us investigators believe multiple shooters were involved. Back here live in River North at this hour. Chicago police also tell us they are still looking for suspects at this hour.
Remember O-Block.
Of course, as we learn more information throughout the morning, Tanya and Val will be latest from River North. Back to you.
Christian, thank you. And of course, there is a heartbreaking scene at Northwestern Hospital where many of those victims were taken. Stephanie Wade has been talking to families there. Stephanie.
Tanya, it really is just absolutely heartbreaking here at the hospital.
Well, there it is. I hope y'all had them good. That's capital.
Right now, where police just gave updates on the condition of victims here to mourning family members. According to police, 9 people were taken here to Northwestern. That is half of the 18 victims in this shooting investigation. Others were taken to Stroger Hospital, Mount Sinai, as well as Masonic.
Right, y'all, something cold to drink. Light up something. Roll up something.
One woman I spoke to tells me her daughter was shot in the chest. Her daughter's girlfriend was also shot and injured at a mixtape release event in River North last night. Video from the scene shows multiple victims being rushed to waiting ambulances. His parent was here in Northwestern for several hours waiting for
that turned into a trend, shoot up these album release parties.
Information on how her daughter was doing. She describes just the sheer chaos.
But her girlfriend got shot too. Her girlfriend told me that the ambulance, when they put in the ambulance, they took her out of one ambulance and put in another one. And she said they told her that they was transferring her here. But it was several people out here standing around coming to find out they loved ones was at Cook County, at Stroger.
Remember the digital footprint? Let me stop sharing that. So yeah, they even showed the family speaking on this situation. Come on, now. They even showed the family speaking on this situation. And you know they're gonna look up a digital footprint for this. But let's go to the mayor. Let's see what he has to say. Let me share my screen and see what the mayor of Chicago had to say about this incident. All right. The press conference. All right. I'm sure there's some major news out there. Should have been on Good Morning America or something like that.
Superintendent Larry Snelling, our Deputy Mayor of Community Secretary Gatewood, our CFD Commissioner, Nancy Holt. We also have our OMC Executive Director, Frank Velez. We stand here today certainly frustrated and angered by this senseless and cowardice act of violence. Last night, our city suffered 2 devastating mass shootings. One on the far south side that left 4 victims hospitalized. The other was in River North that took 4 lives, and there are 14 people who are still currently hospitalized.
Well, this report
Our
said
hearts
14.
are with the families of the victims, and we are praying for full recovery for all of those who were shot. Shootings like these are a tragic reminder of how far we still have to go as a city. Shooting into a crowd of people is
urban area.
That's not the best of who we are as a city. It's unacceptable, and we will not stand for that in the city of Chicago. We are frustrated, but we are also grieving.
There's urban areas everywhere. This message can go far. With a lot of inner city stuff. A lot of these inner cities, they like dangerous, you know. Tourists usually don't run into all that type stuff. If something happened to tourists, it's probably random or something like that. So they're not experiencing what these cities go through. And a lot of it got to do with the lack of resources. It's not allocating to the inner city, particularly in the black neighborhoods. Like the black neighborhoods, they don't have their own economy. And I'm not trying to sound racist there, but they don't have their own economies like all the other ethnic groups. You know, they come in and build their own economies. So there's a lack of resources all across the board. So let's listen to more what the mayor is saying.
We will not rest until there is full accountability. I'm calling on any Chicagoan who has any information about these mass shootings. I'm calling on anyone who has information to come forward. Come forward to help us find these individuals and bring them to justice. It is going to take all of us to stand together against violence. That is why we say that the job of keeping our city safe is not finished. But furthermore, we are still determined, more determined now than ever, to not allow these events to take us backwards.
And we got to remember, Chicago is a large city they have a large population. You know, they got a couple million people up there.
We cannot allow these types of acts of violence to escalate or be normalized. We are
because people will be scared to come to your city. It's stopping money from flowing.
Mobilizing now to make sure that this incident does not return and bring about more violence. Our Chicago Police Department is working with the families, and victim services are being provided and resources to the families of these victims. Today is certainly a difficult day for our city. We all need to continue to come together and work even harder to stem this senseless violence. I'm grateful to our first responders who showed up the way they always do, as heroes, saving lives and bringing calm to what was a very chaotic event and scene last night.
Pretty sure that was chaotic.
And with that, I'm appreciative of the Superintendent of Police Department, Larry Snelling, and he will speak to you more about these incidents.
Yeah, we'll listen to it. We'll listen to a little bit more of this.
Thank you, Mayor, and good afternoon. First, let me just start by sending my condolences to the families of the 4 individuals who lost their lives last night and the 14 others who were injured by gunfire. When you have a mass shooting like this, it's always a brutal scene. The first thing I have to do is talk about the response and the response of our officers to that scene, that you can only imagine a level of chaos, rendering life-saving aid to those who are also injured, getting people to hospitals as quickly as possible. The first responders, the fire department that showed up, our paramedics, families that showed up to help out, to do whatever they could to save those who were injured and bleeding, to get them to the hospital for treatment. You know, last night's shooting, let's call it what it is, it was deplorable and cowardly. You roll up to a location where we have an event going on, multiple people exited that venue. They were standing on the sidewalk when a vehicle pulled up. It was around 11 o'clock last night, and they opened fire on a crowd. They didn't care who was struck.
They know they're gonna go back and look at them cameras, digital footprint.
And in a matter of seconds, they were able to shoot 18 people. In a matter of seconds, taking 4 lives. The victims, their lives, 4, a 24-year-old male, a 25-year-old male, 26-year-old female, and a 27-year-old female. Lost their lives at this senseless shooting. 14 others were injured by gunfire. Now, currently, our detective division is working extremely hard to get to the bottom of this. We as the Chicago Police Department want to make sure that we bring justice to these families, but we also want to make sure that we take individuals who are this violent and this careless off the streets. It's important to all of our residents of Chicago and for anywhere else in this country to remove these types.
There you go. There you go. You gotta speak to the country, man. You gotta speak to the country. This is popping off in all urban cities all across America. Right now, they consider Memphis the most dangerous
of individuals from the street. Look at how quickly and carelessly 4 lives were snuffed out, with the possibility of a total of 18.
Oh, okay. The total
we have to do better.
18.
We have to hold people accountable. And we, as a society, have to hold people accountable. Wrong is wrong, and when we see it, we need to call it.
Community need to have gang intervention, need to meet up with gang leaders.
So we ask anyone who has any information about this shooting, any information about the shooters, you can submit.
You know, people going to want that rewards. There was 4 people that passed away, so they will have rewards for that. And people be wanting those rewards. You see what they did with that guy who escaped from that New Orleans prison, $50,000. Them bounty hunters, if it's enough money, they'll even step in and try to track us down. But you know, it's going to be some Crime Stopper rewards out there to find out who did this. And you know, they're going to look at the video cameras and see when did those guys pull up. They're going to follow the digital footprint, and more than likely try to, or going to find where did they go after that. Because it's hard to get away with stuff nowadays because they got cameras everywhere. And we already know these guys are some amateurs. They got some issues going on there. The real professional hitman is not going to pull up and just open fire on a mass crowd. And you got to be insane. You got to be something going on in your brain. You got to be high on something more than fentanyl. That's a fact. If you pull up and you do some mass shooting with no care at all, something's wrong with you. So, and then they go into hiding and all that type of stuff. They really don't have no resources when they do all that. They know the psychology of these street people when they do stuff like this. More than likely, they don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of resources. They, whatever way they eat, they're going to get it off the street. So, but there's going to be some people out there that's going to want that reward. And the feds are already up there in Chicago. They're up there. They're up there. News like this will stop people from wanting to come to your city And it's just dangerous everywhere, man. It's just dangerous. People walking around mad. They looking for arguments, whatever, you know. So ain't no love out there. So, but I like to give out love, even though it's not none out there. But another story I want to get to is the biker gang crackdown. I started getting those notifications. I get all my news alerts, and I be looking for good stories to tell. But they step up out of this hood and swing to the biker gang hood. And the bikers, I guess my picture's been disappearing, so let me load up one here. And I wonder if they're going to hit some of these biker gangs with some of those Ricos. This is pure mayhem. I saw quite a few stories where they're cracking down on these biker gangs. Will we see one of those gangs get hit with one of those Ricos? And bikers have a history of gang warfare with other bike gangs. It's supposed to be bike clubs. So you got some legitimate biker clubs out there. They true to what they do, their ethics and all that type of stuff. But it's a wild side that comes with hanging out with biker clubs. They got a sort of a vigilante type of image. At least that's what's been painted about them. But biker gang has been around for a long time. And there's been some federal cases against them. There's a lot of them caught long prison sentences. And some of them, like underground, vigilante, gangbang, as they call it. So, but yeah, this is pure mayhem. I want to show this. I mean, these dudes are straight jacking. They getting it in. They kicking some ass. This is live and unfiltered. Let me share this screen. I mean, these dudes throwing bowls for real, for real. Let me press that out. Let's see what they talking. Let's go around here. Lights falling down.
This violent biker gang brawl turned shooting during Bike Week this year landed more than 24 alleged gang members in handcuffs today. It was all part of Operation Mongolian Beef.
The FBI raided the clubhouse of the Mongols biker gang in Volusia County. Fox 35's Chris Lindsay joins us live from the sheriff's office. Chris, the FBI and SWAT team also showed up to some of the gang members' home.
Uh-oh, is this one of those Ricos?
Yes, they showed up early this morning. Now, when this incident first happened back in March, there was only one arrest made. But as we learned today, that was only the beginning.
Punches thrown, shots fired. And bystanders scrambling for cover.
Bullets were flying, innocent people were there, children, busy day.
Nearly 4 months after this brawl outside of a gas station in New Smyrna Beach.
That we are not going to tolerate violence, and in particular gang violence.
Nearly 30 biker gang members are in custody from all over the state.
Put all the motorcycle gangs on notice. If you come here and you show, we're going to show ours.
New Smyrna Beach police were joined by the FBI, Volusia County Sheriff's Office, and a few other agencies for
I need to do an episode on
Operation
this.
Mongolian Beef, looking into this brawl between two groups known as the Mongols and the Warlocks.
You see the Warlocks, they make a phone call, and the clubhouse is only, 2 miles, 3 miles up the road? You'll see the Mongols start to come in droves now. And look at the clock. We started this at 11:20. In 13 minutes, you start to see all of these Mongols.
And they stand there waiting. They ain't moving. They in here like, what up, though?
Pulling in again.
During the March 8th scuffle, 2 bikers were shot.
Eventually, we're able to identify 7 people that are armed, 4 people.
Hey, check this out. This happened at a gas station. They know this gas station got cameras. They didn't
Who
give a
shot?
damn.
3 of those 4 people that shot were involved in a shooting last year in Titusville.
In this operation, over a dozen
Mad shout out to Shay's Tube. Go check her page
warrants
out.
executed in multiple states. A total of 20 people are behind bars, with 3 wanted.
Can you imagine what it would be like to be filling your car up with gas or taking your grandkids by the hand and walking them into a gas station and all of a sudden fighting and then gunfire erupts?
The bikers to be charged with aggravated rioting.
Let me stop sharing that. That's one story right there. Let's go to this other crackdown. FBI raid. Where's this at? Linked to a recent mass shooting. Okay, this case has something to do with a mass shooting. Let's check out this one. This is the biker gang crackdown. Share my screen. I don't know why I got this store up there because the stuff is not loaded on there. So let me take that off of there. Let me take that down. You can't, it's nothing even on there right now. I'm feeling a little generous. Send a little something to my Cash App for sure. Just pop that up there. There we go. I'm gonna find out how to load that QR code on there. Yeah, I'll see how I can do that, but I'll do that later on. I meant to do it before this show. But let's go to this other report. They're cracking down on these biker gangs. This is a FBI raid right here. Check that out. Spread that out. Get some sound going.
And following
here.
more breaking news again in Volusia County. In just the last few hours, only Channel 9 went along for this ride. You see here as deputies raided a motorcycle club. You can see here in the video this as investigators go after a number of people they say are involved with the Mongols Motorcycle Club. The sheriff's office says the group is responsible for a shooting at a busy gas station between rival motorcycle clubs in New Smyrna Beach during Bike Week. Channel 9 Volusia County reporter Demi Johnson was there when they were all arrested. She's live now at the training facility in Daytona Beach. And Demi, there will be much more information released in this case in just a few hours.
Darlene, that'll be with the FBI, the state attorney's office, the attorney general, and of course, the sheriff's office. Sheriff Mike Chitwood tells us while the raids are over, all the warrants have been served, the investigation into the Mongols is only just beginning. We rode with the sheriff this morning as all of this played out.
Oh, yeah.
Out here, County.
Gangs right there. What about this other story? Let me stop sharing that. All right. Higgins. Check out that story. Involving outlaws. Let me share that screen. Cracking down on biker gangs. All right.
Developing tonight, shattered glass filling the parking lot of a notorious biker club building. This morning, the State Bureau of Investigation executed some search warrants at the Pay Clubhouse along Highway 321. Channel 9's Dave Faraday is live for us there now. And Dave, the investigators told you this is connected to a shooting involving a rival club just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Erica, a spokesperson with the FBI told us earlier today that the search conducted here in Lenoir was in connection to that deadly shooting at the Outlaws Clubhouse, which is down in Newton. If you look behind you, you can see the Pagans Clubhouse. It sits right along Highway 321. Several neighbors.
Outlaws is a very well-known motorcycle
in this
club.
area. They describe hearing 2 loud explosions and then SWAT moving in. The SBI says 2 SWAT teams in Lenoir went to the Pagan Clubhouse around 4 a.m. In daylight, we could see the shattered glass and damage to 2 doors. Betty Pittman lives a block away and woke to the sound of the raid.
Made my husband
baby scared them to death. They didn't know what was going on.
The FBI says it executed a search warrant here as part of the investigation into this shooting 3 weeks ago at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. 2 people were shot and 1 man died. This is the 911 call made that morning.
Listen, get back.
Gunshot. Where's shot at? There's multiple.
A short time later, a dispatcher named the Pagans as possibly being involved in the shooting at the Outlaws in Newton. 25 miles away, Pete Foster can see the Pagan Clubhouse from his front yard in Lenoir and supports police efforts here.
I think it's good.
That was some get back right there.
They need to kind of move out of here and let the neighborhood be peaceful again.
So far, no one has been charged in connection with the deadly shooting in Newton. But FBI agents say Anthony Card was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm by convicted.
Man, that looked like a hard dude right
at
there.
the Pagan Clubhouse this morning. This neighbor, who asked we not show his face, hopes the group finds a new home.
I'd like to see him gone because it's just a bad element. It's all hours of the night, all hours of the weekend.
And I did try repeatedly to talk with members of the Pagans earlier today. They had no interest in talking with us about what happened.
They're not gonna talk to you, buddy. So yeah, they cracking down on these motorcycle gangs, as they call them. It's interesting. These folks be straight jacking, but you know they have a long-standing beef. The Outlaws, they well known throughout the motorcycle circuit, but they cracking down on these motorcycle gangs right now. You may see some RICOs coming out on them. The feds are investigating these guys. Yeah, I want to check and see what's going on with them. What's up with them catching some of these RICO charges? That's just my opinion. But these guys are straight jacking on that video. And 2 guys ended up getting hit. It just turned into one big brawl. And like I said, it's historical for them to be rivals and fighting each other and shooting at each other. They have some bitter wars going on for sure. And they not scared to use them firearms. They got a lot of firearms for sure. But on that note, before I get to my last story, take a small little break, grab me something to drink, something cold to drink. I got some food going on, so let me step out of the studio and check on that right quick. So fam, stay with me, stay tuned. I got more to come. This is GPTV1. Yeah, I'm back, fam. And so far, so far I have covered. The story up there in Chicago is real tragic up there. Fortunately, somebody passed away at this young lady's event. And I really feel bad for her because this is supposed to be a special night for her. She's releasing her album and somebody just had to come and mess that up. And it's hard because the rap world already get a bad rap because of the elements that surrounds it. And a lot of these rappers, female and males, they get into rap music. You know, they feel like they got talent. They feel like they got something they can bring to the world. But then on the other side of that, they trying to make it out of those dire situations. And they feel like the rap world can lead them out of that. You know, the pressures of the hood, and you know, you lived around that stuff your whole life, and you try to do what you can to try to move on from that and bring something better. But a lot of those elements won't let you go, and it follows you into the rap world. But we'll see when the investigations go down, and you have to be patient when these cases happen because they have to do an investigation. They got to put the word out there. They got to screen all the phone calls, all the information that be coming in, tips, and all of that. So we got to give it time. But we're going to stay up on that particular story. And these mass shootings be happening in a lot of urban areas. So all these urban areas need help. It's dangerous. It's really dangerous out here in these different cities. But like I said, I feel bad for that young lady. That's supposed to have been a special night for her. You work hard, put your stuff together. You got people to come out to support you. And then this happens. It's tragic. Then we went to start talking about the biker gangs, and the feds are looking into these biker gangs. They're really looking into them. They've been looking into them, but right now there's so many things they're cracking down on. Really, all this crime, and those biker gangs, according to them, they have a lot of crime going on. They got their own world going on. It's just like the streets. They're like the streets. Something like GP, you know, I'll put out cautionary tales, and I do talk a lot of hood stories, a lot of mob stories, but it's all cautionary tales. Learn from it. Learn from it. Learn from all these stories. Yeah, but they cracking down on those biker gangs right now. And I want to get into my last story. And my picture's been disappearing, so let me load my picture back up here. Technical stuff. If you're in the building, click that like button. Click that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. That way you can get alerts for whenever I update this channel. Okay, I'm looking for the picture. Let me get to the picture. And these people have been busted for human smuggling. It's Iranian right here. And some of these people, they say, are on the terrorist list. It's happening in LA. Like I said, they're cracking down on a lot of stuff. I want y'all to be looking for my documentary. I will be dropping it soon. I mean, in some months, probably in 6 months. It's going to take some time to get it done. But it's coming together great. The script is great. It will not be loaded up on YouTube, though. At least not from the outstart, rather. Let me go to this story right here. Let's check this out. Let me share my screen. There we go. Let me enlarge that. Go back on that.
To find police arresting your neighbors for allegedly running a human smuggling ring out of their house. And some of the people arrested were on the FBI's most wanted list, or a terror watch list.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. That's not hypothetical. It just happened in one Los Angeles neighborhood. Our Newsmax crime correspondent Jason Matera is on the story. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Mark and Allison. So, yeah, these weren't just mere immigration violations we were dealing with. Federal agents say that they arrested 2 suspected Iranian individuals who were running a human smuggling ring out of their home and who had terror ties. Here's what we know. Late last week, Customs and Border Protection say that they executed a federal warrant.
They putting them terrorist tags on folks.
Suspected human smuggling hideout operating in a residential neighborhood in LA's San Fernando Valley. But this wasn't just a crash pad for illegals. It was
that human smuggling and some serious charges.
Threat hiding in plain sight. Homeland Security officials tell Newsmax that this particular house had been repeatedly used to shelter individuals with terror links, including people the FBI already had tagged as dangerous. And as you'd expect, residents were rattled by what might have been going down on their block. Take a listen.
I mean, that's scary if that's true, because it's only literally 2 houses from my house, you know, and I've lived here for 18 years. Just talking to our neighbor, you know, this has been a really great, quiet neighborhood for a long time. It's totally surprising.
Come in and blend in.
Authorities say this was the second takedown at the residence in a week. 7 Iranian nationals were previously arrested, some of whom with alleged ties to a human trafficking syndicate.
It's the second time they hit the same
These
house.
arrests are part of a broader pattern. In recent days, Iranian illegals have been nabbed across the U.S., including, as we've reported, a sniper carrying military ID from the Islamic Republic, and another Iranian national with a rap sheet stacked with drug crimes, assault, and child abuse. In total, Homeland Security says nearly 1,600 known or suspected terrorists have been apprehended.
Yeah, they're going after these criminals for sure. They cracking down on all kind of stuff, all across the board. So many issues out there that they going after. But anyway, this is GPTV1 live stream. It's been a blast for me. As usual, I will be back Monday. Check me out on Monday. I will be covering some of the biggest stories out there, or at least looking for some. Entertain y'all with. This stuff is for informative purposes only. It's not to promote any illegal activities. Signing off right now. Y'all stay blessed out there.